Okay, this is the everlasting dye bath. Screw gobstoppers, get yourself 3.5 ounces of Cutch, because you will dye every fabric in your house. But we're going to try one last thing with it and add some ferrous sulfate. I'm going to add a healthy teaspoon of it because I've got a pretty good amount of water in there, and I want to see if I can get it into like a really rich chocolatey brown. So I'm going to heat this up. I'm going to add this, let it oxidize a little bit by boiling, and we will throw in some shibori pieces, which will be contributed to a future pattern lineup that I'm going to try to make if I can make more than one pattern correctly. Anyway, we will give it a try, and I will update you shortly. Okay, so I would like to say that this dye bath has had a chance to oxidize itself just by existing on my stove for over a week because I have been sick on and off. It hasn't been great. So this is already looking darker each time I use it, and we already know that it told us that Cutch has iron in it. So iron oxidizes anyway. I've just accelerated the process by adding some ferrous sulfate. So it looked very murky when I dabbed my tongs off. I have some very bondagey looking shibori here. I'm trying for a weird accordion folded squared thing. Anyway, we're going to try for it. And if it works, I'll do it on a better piece of fabric after, because this is just unmordanted cotton. And I have a couple other just weirdos so that I can feel less bad about pouring out the never-ending dye bath. So away we go. You're going to laugh when you see how different this is compared to the last Cutch. Watch. Oops. Well, you can oxidize it one way or the other. Up to you. And I'll have to flip that little booger since he's, obviously doesn't fit. Well, as you can see, we got the Cutch dye to turn almost black. So, you can oxidize it if you leave it in a pot for a week. But we will open these little babies up and give them a try and see how we did. Well, ho-ho, didn't we get that one? We'll be repeating that pattern again. Okay, well, these two iron-darkened ones came out fantastic. I will show you them when they are dry. And we can add this to the pile of things that made Cutch, or that Cutch made. Good Lord. Okay, well, I will see you when they're dry. Okay, so I folded up another one onto the wood because I wanted to show you. I think we finally exhausted it, you guys. I think we finally did it. I'm speechless with joy because I can finally dump out this pot of dye. But you can see that it's a much lighter gray than the inky color we were getting before. So I was wagering on that being a thing. So let's try and unwrap this one and see if we got the same great pattern for our collection, which you'll see at a later date. But I redid it while I was here so you could see the lighter gray. did exhaust the dye bath. We can let it go. We can move on with our lives. Hooray! Well, we certainly were able to blacken that dye bath. This looks amazing. The fold came out just how I had hoped, and hopefully I will do another folding techniques video. But very happy with this one, all dry. I think it looks great. I think it make the back panel of something that's really neat, or maybe a wall hanging, but I like it the way it is. All right, let's take a look at the other one. I think it's mostly the light in my office that's giving it the faintest of pink undertones, but I would say that this is probably the closest to a true gray that we have gotten. We haven't tried to blacken any oak gall tannin or anything like that, which would for sure go black or gray. We are just experimenting, but here is this one, which was accordion folded diagonally that way, and then I tied big knots, 3 of them, thrice knots, and super simple, but it gives it a really beautiful kind of watery looking pattern. Lovely. Okay, and as a final review of our Cutch plus iron, I wanted to show you this is the second version of the exact same fold I did here. This one got put in the first part, this one got put in the second part. Exact same pattern, but as you can see, one had a lot more dye left to pick up. And this one is still lovely and fun, but it definitely is not as intense, that's for sure. So I think I can finally say that we have exhausted the Cutch dye bath and we can let it go. It's a beautiful thing, my friends.